junk that has happened to you. It's not determined by the things that happen to you. Joy is not determined by that. Joy is defined by God's promise about his purpose. Some of you heard that at the winter retreat. Joy is defined by God's promise about his purpose. That's joy. His purpose you may not know right now because you haven't talked to God, you haven't been around God in a long time because your life, all you see are these bars, your life is really hard. And God's like, I have a plan for you, but you're not listening. Well, yeah, I am going to church once a week. Great. You're not doing anything on your own. You're like, man, why is my life so hard? Why are things so bad? I'm in this horrible relationship. Things aren't going good. When's the last time you talked to God? Joy is not defined by God. Joy is defined by God's promises about his purpose. It's not about what's happening to us, but what God is doing in us. So many people have been through hard times and have come out looking amazing. So many people have taken their personal hard times and really has made it out to be really phenomenal. There was a time in my life, and I actually may have talked about it one time. I mean, a super hard time in my life. And I was at my house and I wanted to break everything in the house. I was going absolutely insane in my mind. And there was glass everywhere. There was a huge TV. There was all this stuff. And I wanted to break and crush everything. And I was about to. And in that moment, I just sat on my hands. And I sat there. And I was like, okay, I want to crush everything. I want to break everything. And literally, I had God's light. I mean, not like, don't do it. But it was like, I knew I shouldn't do that. And that was God pretty much telling me, I have a huge plan for you, Michael Head. Don't blow it now. Because I was going to break everything in my house. I was going to go crash my car. I was going to lose my mind. And if I would have done that, I would not be where I am right now. And I'm not talking about being on a stage preaching. I'm talking about just my walk with God. Married to an incredible woman who is we now have a kid on the way. If I would have done that long ago, who knows what would have happened in my life after that point? What about you? What are you going to do in those moments? If you give up and start going crazy and lose your mind, you're not going to see what God has for you. If you think about Joseph, I don't know if y'all know the story about Joseph in the Old Testament. I mean, the guy, he was sold, he was put in a big hole. I mean, bad things happened to this guy. Horrible things. I mean, just, he had a good day, bad day, good day, bad day. I mean, just a major roller coaster. All sorts of things happened to him. And then one time he got to interpret a dream. And because of his interpretation of this dream, he actually got to save all of Egypt. He actually came and did huge things after that. And if Joseph would have given up that day when he was down in the whatever, nothing would have happened with his life. He didn't give up. There was more in store for him. Daniel in the lion's den. Lion, okay? None of y'all escaped a lion today, did you? No. None of y'all were thrown into a pit with a lion who was starving, and then you came out perfect. Everyone's like, that's awesome. I want to worship your God. No one did that today. Daniel did that. Not today, a long time ago. But he did that. Want to talk about a bad day? Hey, Daniel, get in the lion's den, huh? Get in there, all right? So, hey, kitty. Can I come out now? Because it's dumb. And he walked out and everybody's like, what happened? How did that happen? And he's like, I don't know, God. They're like, we want to worship the God that you worship. There's a purpose to your prison. There's a purpose to Joseph's prison. There was a purpose to Daniel's prison. There's a purpose to Jesus Christ on the cross. You want to think that was easy? Well, about to be hung up on the cross. Woohoo! No, that's hard. That's hard. The hardest death ever. There's a purpose to Jesus Christ's prison up on the cross when life was hard. And the purpose was you. And right now there is a purpose to your prison that you're in. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what your prison is. I don't know what's going on. But there was a purpose to Paul's prison. Now I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has happened to advance the gospel. As a result, listen to this. As a result, it's become clear throughout the whole place, throughout everybody that's here right now, in this prison area, and to everyone else, that I'm in chains for Christ. Because of my chains, most of the brothers in the Lord have been encouraged to speak the word of God more courageously and fearlessly. Verse 13, because of my prison, in verse 13, it has become clear to everyone that I am in love with Christ. Can you say that? Can you say, because of the hard time that you're in, because of the stuff that you're going through, because of the things in your life that really stink, can people say, you know what? They love Jesus. Or do they say, man, your life is tough. Let's talk later. Or do they say, man, you've gone through so much. Things are hard. That's crazy. What? How'd you make it, Jesus? Well, what did you do, Jesus? How? I prayed. There's a purpose to your prison. We're good. Has it become clear to everybody else that your prison is purposeful? You know the song, y'all can come on up. You know the song, I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my... Yeah, good. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my... I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. I don't know where, okay? We answered your question 7 times. It's in your heart. But that song, man, we sang that. I didn't sing it as a little kid, okay? I didn't start going to church until I was in junior high. And we didn't sing that song. But man, some of y'all know that song. But you can't live that song. You've got the joy, but you don't know where it's at. I mean, so many people, you know, we start looking everywhere else for all this different joy. We start looking everywhere else for things to fill us when life is hard. And God's saying, hey, there's a purpose to what you're going through right now. This is happening for a reason. And you're like, God, look, right now, I don't know where you're at. I don't know what's going on. There was a story of this, not story, it happened to me. I was at Starbucks and I was watching, just hanging out, reading, and all of a sudden this girl walked in and she fell. Awesome, okay? And so I'm on my headphones, faking like I'm really listening to anything, okay? They're not, I wasn't listening to anything. And she walks in and guess what happened? She fell. I said that earlier. Oh, come on, man. I mean, that was like 2 seconds ago. Wow, all right? She walked in and I'm on my headphones, she's like, BAM! Okay, and she just wipes out. I'm like, oh, okay. When someone falls, it's like the funniest thing in America, all right? And so she does face plants, okay? And her friend's like, ah! And I'm like, ah! Okay? And then, I don't know if she was drunk or what, but she gets up and she's like, okay? And it was crazy. And so she gets up and she's like, hey, does anybody see my phone? I mean, I can't find my phone anywhere, okay? And her friend's like laughing at her. She's like, hey, where's my phone? I'm looking, you see my phone? She's like, ask me what's the phone. It's a BlackBerry. I can't find my phone. And she's like, it's right here the whole time. Y'all done that, I know you have. Or you're like this. You're on the phone. I have done this, okay? Ask my wife. I'm on my phone and I'm like, babe, you see my phone? Anybody done that? Am I by myself here? Yes! Bunch of morons. Alright, so she fell and she picked up her head. She's like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where's my phone? And then she's like, it's right here the whole entire time. And I know that's hilarious. It's great. But that is exactly what we do with God. We start looking everywhere else for God.